First time I caddied there, I'd watched it on TV for years, and I got to that temp and thought, oh my God, it's down there.
If you finish that tournament on 72nd hole and you put the flag in and you've still got a job, you've done well.
So you want me to find someone who's in my phone to come on here?
Yeah.
I've got Chloe massaging now. I wonder what she does.
If I were 75 in world, I would tell no twat.
But on the jukebox at karaoke and Mick's got two maracas and a lampshade on his head. I mean, it's like, oh man. What's your favourite major, lads, and why? Obviously I know what your twos are.
You looking at me?
Now look at you, Tom. What do you prefer?
Ladies?
Yeah, no, yeah, some of them, yeah. But just as I would say, number one, the Open. Just because it's the Open, and then, you know, it's our national Open. That's got to be the number one, and I'll probably go for the Masters second because of what it is and where it is, and like I said, I've never been a massive fan of the setups at US Opens and PGA. They always put it somewhere hot, so I never liked that too much. It was always boiling hot. So yeah, it'd be the Open first and then the Masters for me.
You, Lordy?
The Open first. And probably the Open at St Andrews. Now they do it every 5 years. I think that's brilliant. So you get a bit of a go, and there's nothing like you stay in the town, you walk to work.
I couldn't agree with you more.
You got the Dunvegan. Lovely.
You had to throw the pubs in.
And then I'd go US Open.
Would you?
I've always really looked forward to the challenge. I've had the odd sniff of a chance going into Sunday. We've never pulled it off, but I really enjoyed it. And Augusta, for me, you're one win switch from a double, and I've always thought it's just that bit too much for me. And the USPGA, it's just a normal tour event with a few more quid to me. I would go that way.
Ricky, you're a bit same, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Lordy. I mean, all right, I've also been a bit biased because we won 2 US Opens and 2 Opens. So, but going the Open Championship for me, and again, St Andrews, because obviously because of the history, you know, it's iconic when you play there, I think. I mean, sadly, with technology, it's not the hardest course you're going to play, and you know, it's defenseless without weather or wind. But you know, being in the middle of town, yeah, absolutely. And then I would go US Open again, because I think it challenges your mind a lot. You know, it can be borderline, where it can be on the edge of being ridiculous, but I still think mentally it taxes you, that place.
So does the Masters, though, doesn't it? I mean, the Masters is...
Yeah, but I think the Masters, if you go back to the Masters, it's a limited field. It's an invitational, basically. And you know, you're playing the same course every year. And it can be tricky when that wind swirls in those trees. And if you're not on it with the putter, you've got no chance around there. I mean, what would be your two anyway?
Yeah, the Masters, yeah, I mean, it's in the middle of a 10-lane highway, and it's like going from the Bronx into Alice in Wonderland once you go through those gates, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, I agree with you. It's like Disneyland once you get through those gates.
It's like going into another country, never mind another town. It's something on its own, isn't
Got to
it?
be just about a hilliest course.
It's a brutal walk, that's the thing you can't get your head around. You can never explain to anybody how hilly it is.
How's that walk up 8? Because it's just continuous the whole way. You get up to the top of that and you're blowing, aren't you?
That's hard to tackle.
Stairlift up there next year.
Especially if they've had 3 to get to the top of the hill, it gets worse then. If they've walloped it on the green for 2, it's not bad.
You're actually, you're praying for a good drive. You think, at least we'll get it up there. I've got 8. When you've got to get the bunker and then run up to the layup and you, oh my God, this is torture now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess people watching on TV never can appreciate the elevation change of that place.
No, well, I'll watch it on TV. You can't see it, can you? First time I caddied there, I'd watched it on TV for years, and I got to that temp and thought, oh my God, it's down there.
Well, I've taken a couple of mates there, and they've just gone, this is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this.
I went to college and I walked in 1992. A friend had got a ticket. We walked in on the 9th green, and you know they always change the course every year. And I thought, oh, they've just ripped it all up and put hills in. And he's like, no, nothing's changed this year. I couldn't believe it.
It is the first thing that hits you in it when you first go there is those elevations.
Obviously, asked which is your favourite all round there, and there's only one answer for me. For the 19th. Get a pint. I tell you what, if you finish that tournament on 72nd hole and you put the flag in and you've still got a job, you've done well.
Here's the thing for you though, you talk about that. Let me ask you boys a question. I would say that the Masters has got probably 4 or 5 of the best holes in the world on it. But the rest of it is pretty unmemorable. You know, they're not, I mean, you've got the 2 par 5s, you've got the par 3 12th, you know, but if you had that, put it this way, if that 10th hole was at a regular PGA Tour event, I know that people would be saying, that's a terrible hole, you've got to snap hook it off the tee.
I actually quite like that. I think it's beautiful the way it flows round.
Yeah, but it's because it's there. If it was somewhere else, I bet you'd say, how's that? You got it a 40-yard hook. What's that all about?
It probably wouldn't be a memorable hole.
Yeah. No. But it definitely got the 2 par 5s and that 1 par 3. And you could perhaps throw in holes like 11 as well, you know, around that amen corner. Oh, that 12. That's
Keep that off.
Caddy's nightmare, right? Oh. I try and tell people, I'm sure you all have, when you get back and people go, oh, what was it like? I mean, I've seen 3 different clubs on that tee in the same group, none of them are right. You know, there's been a slightly different wind on each one. You've got someone in the rhododendrons over the lot, someone in the drink short, someone's in it to 4 foot, and you're like, what's that? It's unbelievable how different it can play 5 seconds at a time.
And you can take some abuse on that one.
I'll tell you what, we were playing with Calcavecchia there. I was caddying for Sergio that wears his spikes on the inside. We're on that 12th tee, playing with Bubba Watson and Calcavecchia. Calcavecchia's lying 3rd, right? Friday afternoon. It gets a wind change, splash, water, drops it out. Front left pin, whacks it on there, pitches on the front, spins off, trickle, water, drops it, bunker, chops it out to about 18 foot, rolls it up to like that. Now he's played 7. Now he can't finish because Bubba Watson's putt's coming down this way, Sergio's putt's coming that way, so he can't get in to finish it off. And now he's going from line 3rd in the tournament to borderline making the cut, like, and his face is purple. You can see it because his veins is like fuming, like. And he's rustling in his pocket, trying to find his coin. And all he can hear is T-pegs jingling around. He's trying to find this coin. It's like getting crosser and crosser. And he just rips his trousers from here to his knee. So now he's got an 18-inch hole in his trousers. All T-pegs and coins fall on green round the hole. I'm at the back of the green crying, laughing. And Bubba Watson's looking at me. He's got tears running down his face. I'm like, I'm biting my knuckles and everything. It's like, I'd eventually got me. Had to play the last 6 holes with like an 18-inch ripping his trousers. But that's Augusta, it drives you mad, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It drives you to drink, that golf course.
It does. Yeah. Get 12-pack every night on the way home.
I never used to use it much, but everyone went to that. It was a steakhouse down Washington Road.
T-bones.
T-bones. Me and you, we all stayed in the same house. We used to go to that little Japanese sushi place. A couple of beers and a bit of sushi and back. Good week though.
Right, lads. So we've got the perfect guests here to discuss what we've missed out on, Rick.
These 2 LIV boys.
LIV Golf versus PGA Tour.
Yeah, well, how's their life change?
Mel and Smith, what?
How's their life change? Making fucking millions of dollars now. Huh?
It's crazy.
Well, we're still scraping the barrel, yeah.
We've gone from getting on trains for 2 days, getting on the bus, couldn't afford to get on an aeroplane, sleeping in the bush at the side of the motorway in south of France, pocket full of 10p's for phone box, no mobile phones, no range balls, no internet, no yardage books, go and draw your own yardage. These plonkers are now on LIV, living like millionaires. Tell us about it, lads.
Flying private jets, living in Monaco. I mean, what more do you want?
Give us a taste on LIV versus PGA Tour from the Rats' point of view. You're getting treated like royalty.
Personally, I love it. From the very first one we did, I was there from the very first one. I think Lordy missed, 8?
5 or 6.
5 or 6,
Yeah.
and then he came along.
Give up the captaincy to go on LIV.
No, he didn't give up the captaincy. I think they let him go.
They stripped him of
I
it.
think they took it off him. Lots of time, I can't be honest.
They stripped him of it.
But no, they've been them right from the start. Those guys at LIV, they got it and they knew what they wanted. Now they wanted to make it work, and they've you know, from the caddy side of it, they've just properly looked after you.
For us, is the biggest.
Not all
change.
about just financially, but how you're treated now. You know, right from the start, it was there's a money clip, all access lounge. You eat with the players in the same place. You know, and I understand there's less of a field, so perhaps it's easier to do.
Well, it is.
PGA,
I mean, that's fair enough.
PGA Tour events. You know, 156 in the field. They used, you know, they just have a players' lounge and a caddies' lounge. And they kept it all separate, and you couldn't get in clubhouses, and you weren't allowed in locker rooms and all. But right from the start at LIV, it was no. It's just all in.
Well,
Treated exactly the
I
same.
was fortunate enough to do one in Miami, and different league for me, different league. That you get treated like the player. I mean,
There you do. The biggest
At
difference
least they
is for
respect
us.
you. You
For
know,
the players, it's a little bit better, I would say. But for the caddies, it's totally different.
They don't leave a stone unturned, though, do they, Lordy? It's
No, and you can ask
What
them
you're trying to say
things.
is you get treated like a human being.
Well, you do. No, you
well,
don't.
we used to get treated like third-class citizens, right?
The caddies are called rats for a reason.
got better though. I asked Billy. She says it's got a lot better
What, on the PGA Tour?
since LIV started.
Well, Liv's changed the goalpost, so guess what? They have to try and follow a bit to stop everybody going.
I think what was the biggest surprise to us is how it got ridiculed for what it was and how it did it, and over this last 2 years, they seem to have copied it and taken a lot of it on board. From what I've
Even the
from what I
TV,
understand.
the drones, and the shot tracers, and they're all everything's moved up. in
Yeah,
pro
suddenly
golf.
the elevated
Well, one
events.
thing I did notice since LIV started, now all of a sudden, like especially at, I guess, majors, caddy gets a silver salver or, you know, replica of the trophy. I mean, that never happened in
Very
Ryder.
caddy conscious, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's appreciated. Do you know what I mean? Like if to the point where, you know, if someone at LIV said, "Do us a favour, can you do that?" I don't think there's anyone to go, no. You go, yeah, sure.
You can actually speak to the officials, if you like, and they listen and take it on board. They might not do it,
They send us a questionnaire actually.
but every week you get
I
a
don't know if you know
questionnaire.
that.
What's what?
Every week questionnaire.
That's good. I mean,
What did you
that's-
think of course setup? What did you think of the markings? What did you think of the pin positions? What was it at? Rate the hotel, rate the golf course.
Well,
rate
I think that's great because now you feel like you're included.
Yeah. And it stops any of the mad stuff happening, because if you go, look, those some of them pins are ridiculous. They're getting a bit, you know, they'll go, right, okay. And I think if you look at the scoring on LIV, you're getting look, and I can tell you, them courses, they're not playing forward tees or anything stupid like that. You know, we're playing proper golf courses. But the scores that are winning most weeks on LIV, whoever's hitting it the best and hitting it the closest and making the most is winning, and it's a decent score. You know, they're not making it too easy, and they're not making it. They're just going, there's the golf course.
I've got
There you go.
a question for you. So, we've all been to Valderrama for decades. And Valderrama is a test at best of times, isn't it?
Murder, isn't it?
And if you shoot under par at Valderrama, level par's won the tournament in the past. I think over par's won it in the past. It was always like 3, 4, 5 under won the tournament. LIV went there, and I think it was like 15 or 16 under for 3 rounds. What were the
The only
difference?
thing I'd say, we used to go in November.
Yeah, that's true.
And the winds were a lot stronger. I'd never been there with Henrik, so that's how much it wouldn't be his favourite cup of tea, that course. But we got there, and I said, I can't wait to see these Yanks round here, because the majority have never seen it. We've been going for years, you know. We played with Bryson on the Saturday, and I think he shot 62.
Wow.
Or 62, 63.
That's some
But he-
going on that track.
Yeah, but he didn't just tee driver and whistle it round the corners. He might have hit a 5-iron to the corner and an 8-iron on the green. Well, you're hitting 2-iron or 5-wood. He played it properly. You couldn't overpower it. Yeah. You know, like the fifth down the hill.
Yeah.
We hit 6-iron one day, because you can only hit it to the corner and it's a wedge straight up the green. He hit 9, but he hit it to the same spot.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he's trying to whistle it round the corner and get it on the green. You can't do it round there. And he played, and I think Brooks won, didn't he? I don't think Bryson won. I think
I
Brooks
think
won.
Lado with Taylor Gooch. Don't know.
Well,
Don't know.
There were some differences though. I remember I walked the course on Tuesday. When did you last caddy around Valderrama?
2 or 3 years ago.
Oh no, not so long ago then. But
Fitz won there a couple, 2 or 3 years ago, I think.
I hadn't been there for quite. I hadn't been there
I think I
for.
was there, yeah. think so.
I hadn't been there for quite a few years, and I always remember holes like the 8th.
Oh, yeah, brutal hole.
Yeah, but you just used to knock a 230 to the corner.
These lads would be driving it up at the green, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But it's pin
I
dependent.
got in and Poulter says, "What?" I said, "It'd be lower scoring now." So he said, "Why? You can get on this 8."
To be fair, it was that Eduardo Molinari. His stats had somehow somebody got them, or somebody. I think Tom Peters uses him still. So, of course, the European Tour had still been going there. Anything at the back, because the trees were a little thinner than I remember from 10 years ago at Rother Green, because it was like 2 alleys to go through. You just blasted it up. Hopefully, you got it in the bunker. If not, you could duff it up the back edge, no bother. The front, you probably wouldn't go for it. But that was the only hole, you're right, where nobody would have had a driver. No one did. Well, now they're 30 yards longer now, so yes, you can get it up there.
The guys are just, from when I was last there, they're hitting it 30, 40 longer, so they're hitting a lot shorter irons in. Also, I can remember every time I went there before, it seemed to be the greens were really soft, and you'd be spinning it off greens like 10. You have a front left pin on 10, you're pitching it in the middle of the green, it's ripping back down that hill. Well, they were just right where that weren't really happening, was it? You could throw it at the pin, it'd take one bounce, bit of spin, and it weren't ripping back off the green.
What's the spectators like in comparison to normal tour events?
It depends where you go, I think.
They're definitely younger.
And Nashville last week looked great.
Nashville's heaving.
Yeah, sell out every day.
Well, you see, my thought on this was that if you look at every sport has evolved, except golf. Now this concept, I think is brilliant. Because if you've got a young kid, to take him to the Open Championship and you want to see Dustin Johnson who's playing at 9 o'clock in the morning and Sergio's teeing off at 4 in the afternoon. How are you dragging that kid round there for 14 hours? It's not happening.
That's the other thing LIV have done really well, is they've made it so fan friendly. I mean, there's fan villages, there's places for the kids to go play.
There's a ton of stuff to do.
There's it's a shotgun start, so you can watch everybody play. They put a concert on a Friday night with some, and it's all for the fans to enjoy. So they've made it. They've set the stall out and said, let's do this properly.
Going back, I was talking to Billy about this the other day, and for me, this whole thing reminds me a bit of Kerry Packer cricket back in 1979 or whatever it was, and IPL cricket. Now, sadly, the game is so fractured here at the moment. And for me, this should never ever have happened. All they had to do was go into a boardroom, those 3 guys, and sit down and thrash it out. But I think egos got in the way. Okay.
Probably, yeah.
And now we're 3 years down the road, and you don't seem any closer to anything happening here. And it should never have got to that.
Something's obviously happening. They keep having these, but I'm not sure what. I mean, they keep hearing about this. Oh, there's a meeting in New York. There's this, there's that. But I mean, honestly, we don't get any feedback of that, do we? We don't know what's said at these
you hear
meetings.
the odd rumour, but you've heard that much over the last 2 or 3 years. It's 99% rubbish.
I can't even know what it is they're trying to put together, because I don't see guys that are playing LIV right now in any desperate rush to go and play the PGA Tour.
I was going to say,
and vice versa, really, because if they wanted to play LIV, most of them have had their chance by now and would be over.
I was going to say, I think most of those players are thinking, well, this is brilliant. I've got to play 18, 20 tournaments a year. Okay, it's 3 days. I get to spend more time with my family, got more time off.
I play shit, I get paid fortunes.
That does help, yeah.
It's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, but Rick, it's not only that you're only playing 18, so's everyone else. Yes. There was guys that done it on the PGA Tour that had these schedules like, Adam Scott and Tiger. They played 18 a year, but only because they were so good they could do it, because your other man is playing 30. Yeah. So you've got to play twice as good as him, because he's playing twice the tournaments nearly, so, but it's just the 14 tournaments. Obviously, majors are a bit of a problem right now, because if you're not, I mean, you can always qualify for the 2 Opens. Yeah. Everybody's got the chance to do that. The other 2 are purely world ranking based.
I couldn't agree with you more, and I just think, I think it's a great concept myself. But I think we'll come back to this at some other stage later down the road.
Oh, it's going to be it'll roll for a while.
Yeah, it is going to roll for a long time.
Hopefully, at the end of it, I'll just say to finish that. Hopefully, at the end of it, golf's the winner, and nothing gets really, because nobody ever wanted. I don't think anyone ever wanted that.
I couldn't agree with you more.
The mess that it's got in leaves a bad taste. But
You get the 4 majors, of which you see lads. I see lads that I don't see anymore. And it's actually great to see.
Well, the Open, I will see
your
people
DJs
I
and
haven't
Cam
seen
Smiths.
since last year.
Well, that's why I think for us it's great to have you guys here. And it'd be nice to have a couple more lads.
We'll see you in another 2 years, lads. Let's play a little game here, Richard. Let's see who we can get on the show after these 2 Muppets have left. What do you reckon? Have you got on your phone that you can tempt?
I can get hold of Mr. Botham, I think. Ian Botham. Beef. I'm sure he'd love to come. I'll send him a message right now. Let's see.
have you got a famous people section in your phone? Have you? I ain't got one.
Ricky's got a nail list on his phone.
You work for Poulter, you know, so everyone famous.
He's in America though. He won't come on, will he?
Well, Weeman's famous.
There we go. Yeah, we could invite Wee Man, but he's blanked us, let us down.
So you want me to find someone who's in my phone to come on here?
Yeah. Who have you got?
I don't know anyone famous.
Prince Albert. There you go.
I could text his best mate, and they always do things together, so we'll text Tomo.
What about Tiger? I don't think Tiger will come though, will he? What do you reckon?
I don't know, he don't play much now,
He's
does
your
he?
best pal, isn't he?
Yeah. Can't invite Tiger.
Oh, we are. Laura Davies.
There you go.
Now she loves the caddies. She'd be good. She loves the caddies, Laura. Let's give Laura a text then. What do you want me to say to her then?
So the Rats have got a new podcast and would like to invite you on at some stage in the next 12 months. What do you reckon? Varney?
He'd be good.
Yeah, he'd be brilliant, actually.
Varney, England's captain.
Yeah, there you go.
Try Varney.
Chubby Chandler.
Hey.
He'd be good.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd have a few tails.
I'll text Chubb.
Well, there you go. Let's see if Beef responds to that.
Right, I'm going to go with Michael Vaughan, England's finest cricket captain, allegedly.
Well, I'm going with Beefy because he's one of England's iconic cricketers, and I happened to be the England dressing room attendant in 1981 at Botham's Ashes. Called the Test Match of the Century.
I've got Chloe Massage now, and what she does. Darren Clark.
What about the Dane?
I haven't forgiven him since 2003. He can get
It depends which one you text. There's about 6 of them. If the good one turns
Talk about
up, you're
some
fine.
caddy stories though. He'd have some, wouldn't he?
The Dane.
Oh my God.
He's
Thomas Bjorn.
sacked a few of them,
Jeez.
that's for sure.
Right, how's this sound? Look. Hi mate, Billy and Ricky have started a podcast and would love to have you on sometime. Are you up for that? Good enough?
Yep.
Sent.
I've texted Chubby.
Then we should get the Big Easy on.
I haven't heard him do many things like this, to be fair. He'd do it for you, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I could force him to get on, yeah, or give him a few greenbacks. I'm sure he'd come on.
See if Varney gets back.
Matt Fitzpatrick.
Varney would have been great, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I was going to suggest Jeffrey Boycott, but nah, I don't think that's going to work. You know when that Daniel was still the Daniel Cup?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was all different countries. So he's playing Pro-Am with, do you remember that guy, Ollie Carlson?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So he's on the tee. Ollie Carlson rocks up. He goes, "Hello, my name is Ollie Carlson, ranked number 75 in the world." Boycott looks at him and he says, "If I were ranked 75 in the world, I would tell no twat." He just fucking looked at him.
Oh, I've had a reply. Already.
Go on, Lauder.
Yes,
Get
mate.
lost.
Yes, mate. No worries. Sounds good. There you go. You got to get in touch with Laura. She's up for that. She spent her whole life around caddies. the whole way through her career, she'd have dinner with the caddies every night. She'd have a beer with the caddies. She just likes being around the caddies.
There's only one problem with having Laura. She'll sup us under the table.
Oh yeah, she would. Oh yeah, if you get the Guinness out, she'll get rid of 6 of them before you've had 2.
Last time I saw Laura, you've been in that Narita airport in Japan.
I was there.
Place called the Cage.
Yeah, we met you in the Cage. You'd done the Dunlop Phoenix, and I was caddying for Laura.
And we were Western Clarkie.
With that karaoke.
She come in to join you lads. £9 she had. Right, I got to go now. Just
That
toddle
was,
off.
that was
No
some
problem.
place though. I'd only been there twice. I was caddying for Nicky Price. I went in there. I left, stumbled out of there at about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Unbelievable place there.
Have you ever heard Billy's Scotchy story? From
Oh, I tell you what. So we go to the Visa to Hale Masters, right? And you leave the golf course. It's a 45-minute bus trip back over the hill into the middle of nowhere, right?
I remember I've been there before.
So I'm caddying for Clark and I'm with Mickey D. He's caddying for Westwood. So I get back to the hotel. Said, we'll walk down to the town, see if we can find something to eat. You know, so we walk down there. I mean, it's a little, tiny little village. There's like 50 houses. I said, oh, look, Mick, over there's like this little orange ball over the door. I said, that's got to be something. So we walked down there. And obviously Scotchy was a great character. He'd been there caddying a few years earlier. So sliding door and I pop my head in. It's like a little bar. Just a little bar, a jukebox, and a fish tank with man-eating tortoise in there or whatever it was. Hello. Oh, yeah. He's like, come in, sign language, and now I'm fucking going, Biro, ni biro kudasai. Yeah, great. That's all I can speak in Japanese. 2 beers, please. That's where it ends. So then it's like, do you want to eat? So I said, oh, so then I was like, I'm sort of like, I'm digging, chopping tips, and like, and I like try to get steak and chips or something, you know. So he's like, yeah, got it, like, and it comes out steak and chips. Brilliant, isn't it? And he comes in this bloke, Shoji, and I'll never forget his name, Shoji and Kimmy, the 2 behind the band. Only me and Mick in there. And he says, yo, golf? I'm like, how does he know? We're in the middle of nowhere in Japan, like, you golf? I'm thinking, how does he know? I was like, he says, I went, yeah, golf. He says, you're not Scotchy. Scotchy had this big bloke nose. I'm like, what? Man, I absolutely cried. Oh, yeah. 3 hours later, we're on the jukebox with karaoke and Mick's got 2 maracas and a lampshade on his head. I mean, it's like, it was mad. Hey, what a place. He used to love it.
And unlike Scotchy, you sniff out the only bar for miles as well, isn't it, eh?
Well, you know, you were talking about Mickey D. Remember, he used to play that tournament in Atlanta the week before Augusta, and we stayed in Duluth. Yeah. And Mickey D was rooming with Wobbly, I think. Remember, with the lobster? Oh, yeah. That is an absolute classic. Have you heard that? No. Yeah. So they're in this bar. It's like other side of the car park.
It's one of those things that when you get to fairground, you get them claws, and you pick a cuddly toy out.
Pulls the lobster out.
You got to try and pull a lobster out.
Yeah, pull which one you want. Anyway, Wobbly's left the bar, gone to sleep. So Mickey D had a couple more pints, and he's like, so he gives the guy money, gets that crane in there, and he gets this big lobster with these pincers.
I've not heard this story, but I know exactly what you're going to say.
So anyway, he's got it. Anyway, he gets to the room, opens up, there Wobbly's lying there, giving it a big rip.
Pulls the elastic band
So he gets a little, and he puts it on his pillow. Okay. So the Wobbly's like, and that thing's clipping at his.
He's woke up at 3:30 in the morning, absolutely screaming.
Those pincers are on his nose. Okay. So he jumps up, he's like, what the fuck?
So he woke up next morning, that lobster was pregnant. Just a reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe below. It's completely free and there's nothing dodgy about it, so no excuses.